Our team, our city, a brand new community with in-person coverage from games and practices, from the court to the press conferences afterward to the podium. We've got you covered with all the latest breaking news as it revolves around the Cleveland Cavaliers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cavs Insider. Welcome to Cavs Insider on FanNation, part of the Sports Illustrated Media Group. We are the brand new Cleveland Cavaliers channel, and we are ready to create what we hope is going to be a really fun and engaging community for all of you to be a part of as we follow this incredible NBA franchise that is so very much on the rise right now, even in just the last couple of weeks. I'm Brendan Gulick. I'm the publisher of our channel. You can find all of our work over at CavsInsider.com. We'll have a ton of coverage, especially as the season is getting underway. We'd love it if you encourage your friends and your family to check out all of our stuff over on CavsInsider.com as well. We've got a boatload of video coverage that we want to share with you right here on our YouTube channel. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. We're going to often do live streams so we can interact with you and answer questions. Share your frustrations or your joy at the end of hopefully lots and lots of Cavs wins here in the 2022-2023 season. You can also follow us on our social media channels at CavsInsider_FN for FanNation. Again, we're part of the Sports Illustrated FanNation network. Again, I'm the publisher, and I'll be on a lot of these video streams for sure, but we've got a great team that we think is going to provide some really cool analysis. We've got lots of different opinions in this group, guys that come from some different backgrounds, and I think it's going to be really, really special. Guys that love Cleveland Cavaliers basketball. We've got a really cool game plan for you and hope that you'll enjoy what we have for you here this season. So I wanted to get a chance to introduce our team to you, give you an idea of what things could look like here as you dive in with us at the start of the season, and let you know that as you see this, hopefully on Sunday the 25th, we'll be live and in person tomorrow during Cavs Media Day, which is at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. We're going to have opportunities to speak with lots of players, with coaches, and we'll give you our analysis from the day as well when things wrap up. All right, so I think we've done a lot of the homework off the top, but let's introduce the team. John Rutter, Spencer German, Adam Prescott, and Tommy Wild, all guys that have followed the Cleveland sports scene pretty closely. John and Spencer and I have all worked together closely at 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland, as well as on a couple of the other websites on Sports Illustrated's FanNation network. In fact, Adam and Tommy have done the same thing. Adam and I have known each other for probably 10 or 12 years at this point, working together in college athletics. And Tommy and I have known each other for a very long time, about as long as he's alive. And he's done an awesome job at the Cleveland Baseball Insider as well. So you can follow his work on there. Let's just kind of dive right in, guys. First of all, excited that this is finally off the ground. Gosh, we've been several months now in the making to try to get this thing launched and looking forward to the beginning of the season. John, why don't we kind of start with you and just your general thoughts on what you think we can provide here at Cavs Insider and what you're excited about this year.
Well, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there with the ton of content that we're going to be providing, not just written content, but you mentioned the YouTube page, the podcast. We're really trying to make this a big community, and specifically as they head into this very exciting season that we are hopefully preparing for this fall. And you can kind of underscore that with the addition of Donovan Mitchell. So this is ideally going to be your one-stop shop for all of the Cavaliers coverage, and it's going to start on Media Day, as we talked about. So we're all looking forward, me specifically, really looking forward to the opportunity to just being there, being live, and being present every day, because you never know when that big story is going to break. You never know when someone's going to say something interesting at practice. So it's always fun to be there and really be in the trenches and in the thick of things. I think that's what I'm most looking forward about. I'm also looking forward to, teaming up with all these guys here, Spencer, Adam, Tommy, Brendan and I have worked together as well. So we've got, I think, a good core here. I'm excited about how professional this look is. There's so much that I think we're really, not sparing no expense when it comes to moving forward with putting this product out here. We want it to be good because we want you guys to enjoy that. I think Brendan would echo that.
Spence, go ahead, jump in, bro.
Yeah, no, I was to sort of echo John. I think this team has, 5 people who all have different ideas, all different backgrounds, all different experiences, and for us to kind of blend all that together and put out some content. We've talked a couple of times already leading up to this big reveal, and whether it's Adam being sort of our betting guy, our guy who knows all that stuff, or John who's dabbled in certain things, or you, Brendan, who's just we all have some great experiences to bring that all together to put out some good content. I think is going to be awesome. I also just think this group and this site, and specifically this platform, this sort of the YouTube channel and the podcast that we're trying to kind of roll out, I think is just going to be different than a lot of what you get from other people covering the Cavs. And that's no disrespect to anybody else covering the Cavs. I mean, we have some great reporters in this town who cover the team, are inside with sources, and have great information and write some great stories and even do some good podcasting. But I think that we're going to try to make this a little bit different, make it something that you want to, come out each night or each week and follow along with and watch, because it's going to be something that you're not getting anywhere else. So I'm really looking forward to that, on top of just all of us kind of putting our heads together and coming up with new ideas for content and stuff that we want to write about.
Yeah, I'm just excited to have some fun. This is fun. Sports are fun. Talking about sports. Sometimes it's miserable being a fan, but you do it together, and we're going to do this together, right? And as Brendan alluded to a little bit, some of us have known each other for quite a while. Some of us just met this month, and so I think a lot of these fans, hopefully, you're going to go on this journey with us and kind of watch our relationships evolve here on screen, on the internet, all kinds of stuff. We're going to be wrong. We're going to disagree. We're going to agree. I'll make a prediction at somewhere along the line that's going to be wrong. I'd like to think I'll make a few more that'll be right than wrong. But that's the fun of it. We try not to take ourselves too seriously. We're not brain surgeons. We're not heart doctors. We're not firemen. If we have a typo in a story, it could be fixed. If we say something that we want to retract on that, we can circle back around. But just as much as we want our fans to go on a journey, as this Cavs team is going to go on a journey, these 5 guys right here are going to go on a journey and start learning a lot about each other, and just piecing it together one day at a time. So this should be fun.
Yeah, really not much left to say, is there? But I'm really excited to be part of this team. We got a lot of guys who have a lot of great backgrounds, and at the number one are Cavs fans, which I think is the most important thing. And I can also, one of the things I'm most excited about with this team is that I can guarantee that this is going to be the most aesthetically pleasing site that follows the Cavs, because some of the graphics we have are just absolutely mind-blowing. So I'm really looking forward to all that.
I totally agree, and want to give Eddie Murata a huge shout out. Eddie's done all of our graphic and branding work. He's not on this stream with us, but you'll know Eddie because you'll see his work constantly. And by the way, John, huge shout out to all the incredible drone shots as part of the intro there. We really hope people enjoy and appreciate that. We're going to capture everything that we can to make it feel like you are connected to this team. We want you to feel game day environment. We're going to do the best we can to use a visual medium and not just type a bunch of stories on the internet or open up a webcam and talk about the team. The idea here is we want to share your passion for this town and this city. We love Cleveland. We love the Cavaliers. We love the momentum of this team in this town. And gosh, this team is so fun to follow right now. And we just think this is a really cool opportunity to create a cool community here that we want you to be a part of. This isn't just the 5 of us having a bunch of fun following a team. We want this to be interactive. So please interact with us on our social platforms and share it with your family and friends along the way.
That means you want to tell us how bad we suck at something.
Please bring it on. Let us know.
Yeah.
We're not going to be right about everything, and that's okay. Differing opinions are welcome here, and we're going to be respectful about it. But I'll speak for myself. I want to hear how other people think and feel about things, because I'm sure I'm not right about everything. And I think that's why we've got a good group here, because these guys all approach things from an open-minded but passionate perspective, which is really cool.
Adam sounded like he was ready to throw down if we have different opinions. So
verbally. Not on day one, Spencer. Not on day one. We're still in the honeymoon stage here. We're on our best behavior.
I liked one of the things that you said also about the key here is that we want to take you with us, take fans with us. And that's something that I've always tried to do in my content. I think that, us in the sports journalism industry have a unique, glass or lens that we get to maybe see these sports and these games and these practices from. And I think that that's, a useful tool that we can use to really engage fans and help drive that content and that interaction. So, interactive is kind of the buzzword that I'm using right now, but if there's something that you want to see, if there's something that you want to hear, I think feel free to throw that out there, and something that we would, certainly try to facilitate along the way. At the core, I think that we're all, Cleveland fans and Cavs fans. And I think that that's something that will hopefully be reflected in this content.
I think the biggest idea we want to get across to you guys here is that this is, there may be a day or two along the way where we don't have something new posted, but the vast majority of the time we are going to have a daily podcast that'll be 15 to 20 minutes. It's our reaction from last night's game, or what's the latest breaking news with the team. A way for you to wake up in the morning and download your podcasts, whether you watched the game the night before or not, whether the team has played in the last couple days or not. We want you to feel like you've got a pulse for what's going on with informed, but also passionate and fun, hopefully, opinions. So we're going to have daily podcast coverage that, again, the plan is to live stream the vast majority of that, but it's okay if you don't catch it live. We can certainly make it available for you on the YouTube channel after the fact. The podcast, the Cavs Insider podcast, will be available wherever you like to get your favorite podcasts, the Apple Store, Spotify, Google Play, lots of different places. So please download the podcast there and write reviews. Let us know what you think if you listen to it after the fact. When it's time, we'll talk about the NBA draft. We'll talk about league news that might be somehow impacting the Cavs, or if there's a trade piece that's really interesting that maybe the Cavs could consider adding, but he goes elsewhere. How and why does that affect the Cleveland fan? We'll dive into that kind of stuff. We'll have interviews. We'd like to talk to not just players and coaches, but people that are connected to the franchise, people from around the league that are covering either Cleveland or that are covering teams that are notable to the Cavs. We're going to try to give you an inside look at what to expect with the Cavs season that's upcoming. And I think the coolest part is that, that we've got a chance to do this for you in a live setting where when breaking news happens, we can jump on it and tell you why it's impactful, and give you lots of different ways to consume it, whether it's watching a podcast, listening to something, participating in a live stream with us, reading it on our website, certainly building a community in our social media channels. We're going to have an Instagram account, Facebook, Twitter. Maybe even someone could convince me to do a TikTok account. We'll have to see. I might have to twist my arm on that front. But we're looking for ways to make this interactive and fun for you. So I think that's probably the 10,000 foot view we can give you. We will put up press conferences along the way so you can hear from the players and coaches when the games are over. And the idea is, we'll be at home games, but when the team is on the road, we're still going to give you a live streaming reaction to what happened and cover this team every step along the way. Guys, before we wrap up, why don't we just talk about a little bit of the momentum? We'll dive into maybe one Cavs-specific thought or topic here, and the idea that this team just pulled off a franchise-altering trade a couple of weeks ago. Donovan Mitchell's coming to Cleveland. Obviously, the Cavs had to give up some important pieces along the way, but man, if it doesn't feel right now like this core is, building toward a championship caliber team, I don't know what would feel like that. John, why don't we start with you and just in general, your thoughts on where this team is right now?
Well, the first thing, the main takeaway that I got from his introductory press conference was I was very, very impressed with this young man. He speaks very well. He gave, thoughtful answers. And I got a genuine sense that he really wasn't putting on any sort of front. His mom was sitting there front and center, and he talked about his excitement about how happy he was when he learned who the Cavs didn't give up in that trade, and that he was going to be able to play with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley and Darius Garland. Hey, he said he was a Cavs fan as a kid. He was rocking a LeBron jersey when he was growing up. He was giving a shout out to Ahmad Crump, saying he was the one running around his house as a kid, saying Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that he's genuinely excited to see where things go and how he meshes with this team. And I think that he fills a number of voids in a number of, missing pieces and things that were lacking from this team last year. I think that, he can transform this offense. I think that there were times last year where things maybe got a little stagnant and they didn't have someone that they could particularly hand the ball off to and say, here, go get a bucket. And from a leadership standpoint, this guy's played in 30, 40 playoff games. There isn't a whole lot of playoff experience in this roster. And I think that plus his relationship with Ricky Rubio is really just going to let this team take off.
Yeah, to echo John, I think when we had talked about this site and launching it, early October when the trade went down, I was ready to write something that day. It was awesome. But to John's point on the press conference, like Cleveland loves when somebody comes here and they feel like they get Cleveland is the phrase they always throw out there. It felt like Donovan Mitchell very much gets Cleveland with the comments about how he grew up a Cavs fan, had the LeBron jersey. At one point, he said he was cool coming to Cleveland because he likes the cold. Like, that's all very much gets Cleveland.
He was at the decision.
Yeah. He mentioned that too. Like, so many different lines throughout the press conference where it felt like he's a guy who's coming here, who's embracing it, who's ready to be part of this team and compete. And listen, the buzz is for real for a reason. Like, this team has the chance to be really, really good, even if this year it's kind of a year of growth down the line. And I mean, for all of us in our lifetimes, like, we've never seen this team be good without LeBron James. So that's pretty damn exciting. And I'm looking forward to, what the future holds for this group, especially now that they've added Donovan Mitchell into the mix here. And I know we'll certainly reflect a lot of that excitement in our content.
Yeah, I think going back to initially introducing our team, I think there's a lot of symmetry between the 5 guys you see on the screen here and the 5 guys that the Cavs might put on the court. Not so much maybe in our wingspans or our vertical jumps, but us 5 here think we have an idea about
yourself, Adam. I can jump.
Yeah, no, you got a credit card vertical. That means you got credit card vertical. The only thing we can stick between your feet and the ground is a credit card, Brennan.
Probably.
But we think we know what this is going to look like, but we're going to be throwing some curveballs, and we got to find our chemistry here. And we think that the Cavs have some ideas on what they might look like, but they're still going to be playing together for the first time, and some of these guys got to learn about each other. And when you talk about the Eastern Conference, this is totally different than when LeBron came back. He comes back, all right, you're pretty much vaulting to the top of the East. You're probably the favorite, in the conference or whatnot. You could tell me the Cavs are going to finish, or going to win the East, or going to finish 5th, going to finish 8th. And I could probably believe all of that, any scenario. I mean, when you look at, the Celtics were in the finals and the Bucks have, a thing going, and Miami was a top seed last year, and Philly, and there's a really talented team in Brooklyn if they can figure it out. So, I mean, there's 4 teams that could still be better than the Cavs, even though the Cavs are much improved. So I think it's going to be interesting that I think there's a little more unpredictability here than when LeBron came back the second time, and you kind of had maybe a little more clarity or what the team was going to look like because we had seen him before. I think this is going to be interesting. There might be a few more ups and downs, but I'm really, really interested to see what they look like come March and April when they start making that push. They won 44 games last year. If you get to 50 wins, that's not that crazy of an improvement, and that's a top 3 seed in the East. So I'm interested to see how all these guys play out, what rotations look like, not just Donovan Mitchell, but how the other guys play off of him.
Yeah, talking about guys that would play off Donovan Mitchell, immediately when we made this, the Cavs made this trade, one thing that I thought of was how much Donovan Mitchell played with Rudy Gobert in the pick and roll, and that was really awesome and worked really well for both of them. So I'm really excited to see how Donovan Mitchell and Jarrett Allen kind of used that pick and roll, because Rudy Gobert is a fantastic center. He's one of the best defensive men, big men in the league, if not the best. But I do think that Jarrett Allen's offensive potential is so much further beyond Rudy Gobert. So to be able to see those two connect is going to be really exciting. That's honestly what I'm really looking forward to when this Cavs team finally gets on the court and we finally get to see what this team looks like.
Yeah, I just can't wait to see Mitchell and Garland, gel together. I mean, individually what you have with a lot of these guys, and obviously the puzzle here is figure out how it can gel, how it can work together. But the top end talent feels like it's there, it's young, it's deep, and it's a bunch of guys that sure seem to love the city and understand the impact that having a really, really good NBA franchise can have on this town. it wasn't that long ago that the Cavs finally got over the hump, but I think this is the first time that, last year we started to see what it could look like if the Cavs made a run. Unfortunately, it kind of dealt with some tough injuries as the year went along, and things didn't end up going the way that everybody kind of hoped. But there is a lot of momentum going into the start of this year. You lose one of your big guys in marketing in order to get Mitchell. Maybe now they look a little bit more like what other teams do, where you, instead of having 3 7-footers on the floor, you might only have 2 with some guard play. I just can't wait to see how the identity of this team, really comes out. But, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, I think, have a chance to really build something pretty cool down low. And I can't wait to see what Garland and Mitchell in particular do running the offense. So going to be a ton of fun. And we've got a boatload of coverage for you planned along the way here on Cavs Insider. We'll wrap it up for now, but wanted to make sure we had a chance to introduce ourselves and invite you to take this journey with us. It's going to be a fun season. Please share your thoughts. If there are things you want us to cover and touch on, let us know so that we can address it. We could certainly do podcasts that are around specific topic ideas rather than just the general thoughts on what happened last night and what we expect will come in the coming hours. Again, we are hopeful that you're watching this for the first time on Sunday, the 25th of September. But in case you're watching it thereafter, we'll have other content loaded within the next 24 hours on the site, because we're going to be live at Cavs Media Day starting tomorrow, Monday, September 26th at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. We're going to speak with players and coaches. We're going to give you our own personal opinions and analysis of what we heard throughout the day, give you an idea of how excited the Cavs are to start the year. Can't believe it, but the first preseason game is basically a week and a half away. And then just 2 weeks later, the regular season gets rolling up in Toronto. We anticipate that John is going to be there in Toronto for the opener, fingers crossed. But even if he can't be there in person, we are going to do our best to give you our analysis from home. So looking forward to being in person at a lot of these different events. We'll be at practice. We'll talk with players and coaches, and we'll share everything we can with you. CavsInsider.com is the website, and at CavsInsider_FN. We are part of the Sports Illustrated Media Group, FanNation. All right, for Spencer German, for John Rutter, Adam Prescott, Tommy Wild, I'm Brendan Gulick. Thanks for joining us for a little bit here. We are excited to take this journey with you, and really hope you'll engage with us soon here on Cavs Insider.